Hello, and welcome to Art, Creativity, and Wellbeing. This is the show where we are always working to support you in giving yourself the same care and love that you are accustomed to giving to those in your world, to the people you work with, to your family, to your friends. And I'm glad you're here. It's great to see you. Great to be with you. I'm Kay Locke Culp. I am a coach, I'm a creator, and I'm a thru hiker who used to need a wheelchair. And we're embarking on something new right now. It's a series. It'll play out over 5 weeks, and it is about feeling alive. We're sort of exploring aliveness, and we're going to do it in very small bites. I've decided. I'd like to. This series, I feel like what we'll be doing is I'm going to be sharing questions out into the world, or things that you get to think on for yourself. And I'm sort of choosing to leave the space open rather than share my own feelings because, the way I'll say it is when we were getting ready to sell our home in Massachusetts in order for us to move up to our new home in Maine, part of that process was realizing what makes a home appealing to a buyer and what doesn't. So I remember for example, when we were looking for this home, we looked at more than one home, but there's one in particular that I'm remembering that was absolutely decked out in the most gorgeous way that you could imagine. That person had put their or that family had put their whole being into like let's make this a show place. Let's make people really really love it, right? And what that did for me was it made me unable to imagine myself living there. Like when you remove all of the things that would be going with them, what did that leave? I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. And our Massachusetts realtor, instead of doing something like that, not that was the family that decided to do that, but because I understand that the client has a lot of leeway here, so our realtor guided us, and we accepted her guidance to take as much out of our house as we could and still live there, basically. We had very little when people were looking at the house that was ours that would impede their vision of seeing themselves in the house. And our house sold beyond our wildest dreams. That was very well borne out. And I've been thinking about it in relation to this space. A lot of times you're here because you're listening to an amazing person that has a lot to contribute. And I know as a listener, like when I'm on the listening side, I love that. I love putting on that listening hat and just learning from the people who are on this show. It's amazing. And I want to do this a little differently and make it more of an opportunity for you listening to see yourself in this house of aliveness. And to that end, I am going to start off with today. Really, what I've got today is a question, and so I'll give you some context for the question. I have made. I can't believe that these words are going to come out of my mouth. I've made a very fun Venn diagram. I would never have thought to hear myself say that a Venn diagram could be fun, but this one to me feels like fun because it communicates a lot. It says a lot, and it helps understand a lot. It promotes understanding or facilitates understanding. And this diagram that I made is called 3 A's to Feel Alive. And instead of telling you about it, what I'm going to do is invite you, if you'd like to see it. If this arrives in your inbox because you're a subscriber, there will be a a picture of the diagram so you can see it. If you're not a subscriber, in other words, if you're listening like in your favorite podcast app or in YouTube, there's a link to my website as well, where you can see it. It's on the front page of my website. Uh, and you can always sign up to receive these into your inbox, and that way it'll arrive there. So, well, it won't arrive there, but you can go to the Substack page, which Substack is the platform where my podcast is hosted. And you can see in the archives, you'll be able to see this particular episode 370, about feeling alive. And I'm looking at it, right? I'm looking at this Venn diagram, and I don't want to clutter today's conversation with lots about it. What I'd really like to do is help you know that it's there if you want to go and take a look, and mostly to reflect on the question which kicks it all off, this whole series. And the question is, what makes you feel alive? What are you? I won't even ask it any other way. What makes you feel alive? That's today's question. And between now and next week, or now and when you listen to the next one, if you're not listening in real time, maybe take it out on a walk. Take that question on a drive. Take it to your journal, or a friend, or a coach, into a community that you feel that you can ask and talk about such things. Yeah, what makes you feel alive? That's the question for today. And this is where I'm gonna wrap up, and I will see you next week as we continue our exploration of aliveness. I hope today's a really, really good one for you, and I'm sending you lots of love. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.